Hey everyone, this is Rachel. I am going to be working with this particular cut file. This is a free cut file from Paper Issues. I am using paper from a a Studio Calico kit I purchased. It is right here. That was Xanthi, in case you were wondering. And I got this when they were having their mega clearance sale, so I think it was something like $5. So I haven't worked it before, so I took this piece of paper, which was called Sonnet 130, and I cut it out on my silhouette, and I was shocked that it actually worked. My silhouette does not particularly like me. I will tell you, I don't know if this is actually the way it was supposed to be used, but this is the look I was going for. It did take a little bit of time to glue all these pieces in, which is why I went ahead and did it without the video recording. I did it while I was watching TV and I only messed up a little bit, so yay me. What I'm going to do is put a little bit of gesso on and add some mixed media to this. So I'm going to go ahead, get you put on fast forward, and take it away. All right, folks, let's get going. Alright folks, I'm going to get started by adding some gesso. This is white gesso. Now usually I am a clear gesso user. I don't mind a lot of pattern and I don't normally need to fade it out. And even with white cardstock, I prefer clear gesso just to, because it's never quite the same white. So, but in this case I did want to fade the pattern out just a bit, so I used white gesso. And now I've moved on to doing shimmering. I did kind of, oh, Xanthi's joining us. I did kind of just cut away from that because it's just me swirling gesso around. So I'm using a bunch of my shimmers products. They are all Vibes, I believe, except for one. I started off with the Mango Tango, and now I'm going to let that dry a bit and go down to the blues, starting with Jenny B Blue and then Blue Jeans, excuse me, and then I'm just using a napkin to kind of mop up anything that gets a little too far afield from where I want it. What I'm looking for is a swath of color down vertically down the left-hand side. So I then move on to Princess, and that's going to be the bottom color I use for my Vibes. And then that's where I'm going to put my photo, so I'm not planning on putting a bunch of color back there. I do end up adding a little bit more color later. So I have this photo, and it's kind of something like someone texted it to me, and I think it was a screenshot or something along those lines. So it's an odd size, and when I printed it off on a 4x6, it didn't fill the whole thing. So I decided I was going to go ahead and leave the white border because that was going to be, because where I was going to put the photo was going to be so colorful. Now I also then added a scrap of vellum that had some gold triangles on it, and it just happened to be sitting on my desk, so I just went ahead and added that as a layer, as just another separation piece to keep it like kind of separate from the color. So then I kind of start to poke through my the Studio Calico kit I'm working with, and I'm pulling out just a little bit of things, a couple of those acetate pieces and then a couple of the die cuts, and then I realized there isn't enough color along the left hand side of where my photo is going to be, so I just add a little spray of Glorious Day and then a spray of Jenny B Blue. I've decided I'm going to do spatters on the right hand side, and I'm going to follow the same color. I did start off with a red, that's Scarlet's Fire, that's actually a Colorings, not a Vibes, and then I'm following it down with Mango Tango, Glorious Day, Jenny B Blue, going back to Blue Jeans, and finishing off with Princess. So for the most part, the colors on the left are the same as the colors on the right. Some time has passed, I let that dry, and now I'm going to start to place different things throughout the different color, from the different colors, I'm going to then place different embellishment things. So I have that word adventure, and that's in a reddish pink, and I've got that word seriously, and that's kind of like an aqua, a darker aqua, but an aqua. And now I'm going to start to go through my die cuts. Now I keep my die cuts in a little square container in these, they're meant to be DVD envelopes, and I keep them, there are two different modes of organization. I have an envelope for each color, and then I also have some that come from specific lines, like say Chamel, or let's see, what have I got here? I've got Fancy Pants Happy Place. I don't have a lot of Fancy Pants, and I have no more of Happy Place. It's something that came in a Scraptastic kit, so I keep that there. And if I'm ever going to make a kit, and I'll look through all of my die cuts and see if maybe that particular line would go with the colors that are in that kit. So, but because it's kind of like all of those die cuts go together, I keep them together. When I get down to having just a couple of something, I will then break those apart into the different colors that I'm going through. I explain that. I have a video explaining my die cut storage. I will put a link to that in below. If for some reason I have not put that link in, which is very possible, and you want to see it, just shoot me a comment, saying, hey, there's no link. I will go ahead and put that link in, and, so that way, and that'll let you know that I did that, because, my brain only functions on 30-second reels. Okay, so I've gone through. And now I've brought out my little case of acrylics. It's mainly stuff from Color Cast Designs or stuff left over from very old Scraptastic kits. But you see the things I've pulled. I've pulled little hearts, little acetate pieces, one of the squares that I broke apart from my August 2017 Click kit. That fun that came from the Pink Paisley Summer Lights. Anything that wasn't beach themed, I broke apart and put by color for those little squares, because it just worked out a lot better. So you'll see I knocked everything out, but now it's all back. I had paused. My paper was curling up a little bit, so I just wanted to flatten it out. I was conflicted as to what to do. I wasn't thrilled with the way it was turning out, but so I was like, I don't know what to do. So what I ended up doing was pulling a couple of flare they each fit within part of the color family, and then watching back my video and figuring out approximately where all of my things went. I had this idea of pulling out different numbers from different fonts in the same colors, because this is about the cabin my nephew was in at his camp, and it was cabin 9. So I was thinking I would do, a pink 9, a yellow 9, a green 9, and I was like contemplating that, and I ended up putting the layout away like overnight and just kind of going, I don't know if I really like that. And I even had pulled all these LE Studio Alphas that have numbers on them, and they come in a ton of different colors, and it's just like, I really just, in my head, I was like, I really want to do this. And my other part of my head's going, no, it sounds stupid. So I had to kind of put the layout away and let it sit actually for 2 whole days. And I'm not one who does that. Usually if I start a layout, I finish a layout, unless like I have drying time. So anyway, I do pull out these green thickers because where I'm going to put the title is in the green area of my layout. And those are just an older one from American Crafts. They're in a plastic bag, so I'm not even sure of the name. And I'm just going by, and I'm using my liquid glue because it is gesso on the back. If I use just ATG, I find it pops off after a while. So I have that yellow flare in the yellow area, the blue flare in the blue area, and that third flare is actually like a navy blue. No, I'm sorry, it's not navy blue, it's purple. Excuse me. So I'm just getting things glued down. I am using ATT down here at the bottom because there really isn't a lot of mixed media down there at all. I am using my liquid glue for the acrylics, and as I said, those come from Color Cast Designs. And you'll note I'm doing some journaling down here on the bottom, talking about how, you know, it's amazing how you can grow such fast friendships in such short amount of time and stuff like that. You'll see in the upper part there's that pink one, and it says status update actually. My plan is to write all of their names up there, but I have to get that information from my nephew, and I didn't want to put all their names up on screen on YouTube, so that's that. The last thing I'm going to do for this layout is scatter some enamel dots. I'm just going through my box of enamel dots and trying to find colors that match the colors, and I'm not doing what I normally do, which is groups of 3. I'm just kind of scattering them in the same diagonal line that all of the embellishments are going in. So I'm pretty sure I'm close to being done. Am I not? Oh, no, I still have more enamel dots to add. So I'm like, I have a ton of enamel dots. Let's get these suckers done. That is going to finish off my layout. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today. If you could flick me a thumbs up. Oops. Okay, so here's where I go to try. I'm like, oh, wait, no, I'm not done. I have to trim off that picture perfect die cut. And then I realized, yeah, no, you never glued down the aqua asterisks. All right, folks, once I do that, I'm going to trim off the picture perfect, and then I am going to be done. Okay, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be great. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I will get back to you. All right, have a great day, everyone. Bye!